Hey guys, Station X here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the PSP Go. This was the I know they did a couple of versions of the PSP, and I would say this is like the last version, but I think there was another version out there after this. But for all intensive purposes, this really was kind of like the last hurrah for PSP. And while the PSP was a fabulous system, I would say like the original one's probably like the better ones, of course, because you have the ability to have like physical media and stuff like that. This was kind of like the first major forerun of like actual like digital only systems. We like to think that it was a craze started nowadays, right, with the PS5 digital, the Xbox One SAT edition, or the Xbox Series S. But digital-only consoles kind of started a little earlier than that, and PSP was really kind of ahead of its time in a lot of aspects. But not only was the PSP only, it's like Sony's first run at the handheld market trying to attack Nintendo's crown, but the PSP Go was just kind of like an interesting little device because, I mean, for one, as you can see, it really looks like a phone, right? And then we got that like sliding action where some phones back in the day would have like the full physical keyboard here, and so this was kind of an interesting little idea here. Now, like I said, there is no physical media to speak of. You cannot put an actual thing in here, so nowadays this thing is kind of useless. I don't really think you could use this under its normal pretenses. I think the most useful part about it is that PSP is a very good, emulation machine sort of deal, as far as like doing old school stuff. Like you could probably get NES, Super Nintendo, maybe some N64, depending on which one you're using. I think you could get, of course, you could get PS1. I don't know if you could get PS2. That might be a little iffy. But anything that has like a 8-bit to it, like side-scrolling, one thumbstick or no thumbsticks, because this thing only has like one little stick you can use, and that's basically it. I think you could also even get like DS emulation on here, which is kind of funny. Realistically, you could kind of put whatever. It's just whether or not the thing can actually handle it is another story. But here's the front of it. Of course, this one had like a 16 gigabyte, although I don't have a memory stick with it. Here you have the bottom here. Here you have the side here. The other side here with some text and things like that. You can pause that if you want to read it. Here's the top part of it here. And here's the back. And again, if you want to pause the video just to read what it says. But here we have some accessories. This has a little cradle, which kind of reminds me of the 3DS. This thing was also able to play on TV, believe it or not, so that's really interesting. And again, if you're doing emulation and you want to have something that's portable, but also plays on the TV, similar to a Switch, this thing might be the way to go. Of course, it shows the memory sticks, and then of course the USB cable. Now, I don't have an original PSP charging cable, but we're gonna just open this up here, and here's the main event here. This is the PSP. So haven't really opened it too much. As you can see, it's got some heavy fingerprints, so I haven't cleaned it. But we got this sliding thing right here, which is really cool. I mean, just kind of look at that. I did charge it a little bit just so that we have what it looks like here. It's kind of all you get, basically. And I wasn't really able to get into the store, so that was kind of an issue. I'm not, I don't use PSP all too much. If I do, I use it on the TV to play, like, the exclusive games on it, but that's about it. I mean, the main ones I usually try out is, like, Persona 1 and 2 specifically, so that's pretty neat. And, of course, you see the buttons here. You got the classic PlayStation button with that circle stick is really... I know they were trying to find something that wouldn't snap off or anything like that. That's nice and portable, but man, does that thing, it really sucks. The start and select buttons are pretty nice here. And then, of course, you got your normal X, circle, triangle, square buttons. Now, of course, these actually feel more like how the Vita feels. Because, when you go on the actual PSPs, like the 1, 2, or 3, like the different models, those actually feel a lot bigger. So these more are akin to the Vita buttons, because the Vita buttons are a lot smaller. And here we also have the home button here, and we have the power button, which turns the system on and off. But of course, when you slide this thing, it just turns it on. So, and of course, when you slide this down, you get a little clock. So isn't that nice? So, as you can see, I'm recording on a Saturday here. So we're doing this all in one day. Here we have the buttons on the top. We got a nice chrome LNR here. We have this music button here, as well as the volume selecting. And I forgot what this button does, not too sure. And here we have the back of the thing, very glossy. I'm not a big fan of that, just because it's very, as you can see, fingerprint heavy. And, you know, I really didn't take this out of the box all too many times, just to, like, really charge it. But, we got these nice grooves here. So you have a place to hold your, you know, put your fingers, but it's, for someone who has big hands, this is not the most comfortable feeling thing to really use. It's not like the best thing in the world. So, but I mean, hey, it does try to do some innovations for its time, and I know a lot of people really enjoy not only just the regular PSP, but the PSP Go. And not only that, but we also did get some starting guides here, like the quick start guide. Here's like the actual just full manual, instruction manual for it, and I think this is also what it is in Espanol. And then we have this thing that will come out of the box, but it's a Media Go. So we have a media disc on here. Now I'm not actually sure exactly what this does, but it's kind of nice that this is included in the box. Now, of course, it is, I'm not sure 100%, obviously. This isn't complete in box just because I don't have the official charger. In fact, I don't actually have it in here because the one I do have doesn't fit in the box. So I wasn't going to try to cram everything in here. And this is the piece of cardboard that you get with it. But yeah, it just fits all nicely in there, and that's basically it. But let me just take this out again. But yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think of the PSP Go. I'm personally a better fan of the Model 2. You gotta go with the Model 2 or 3. The original model, the only difference between that and the original Model 1s is that I think the ability to play on TV is on the 2 and 3. I'm not sure if it's on the 1. But I like those models better. I feel like it's more comfortable in the hands. Obviously, you could do physical media, and not only can you play like physical like UMD movie discs, but you can play like the games themselves, which is a really nice thing that the PSP did. But, you know, of course, let me know if you're a fan of this thing too. A lot of people, even back then, did like their digital games, and that was one of the first forays into their like digital storefront that they had, because this thing came out PS2 days, so I'm pretty sure that was like the first one to have an actual store. And the main menu itself looks very similar to the PS3, so I mean, there you go. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this? Do you have any fond memories that you'd like to share in the comments below? Let me hear it. And also, as always, if you enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. That always helps the channel out. I've been Station X, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.